There were letters that were long, live it dirty long, live it dirty wrong, about you, about you, about you. Read without a book, glance but I don't look, that is how I am. Never wanted to be blue, only wanted to be true. I don't know what to do. There were pictures that were not among the pictures that I thought were the angles that you caught of me. There were letters that I kept, wrote them nights when I had wept, and now I know that it was kind of crazy. I like to let you know why lovers come to show. I see you come and watch you go, and you wait for me. No, 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 no.
Hello and welcome to my show TikTok, where we talk about what makes successful people tick and what it took for them to pursue their passions, follow their dreams, and achieve their goals. In the 17 years that I've known today's guest, I've witnessed her colorful evolution from senator's assistant to Ateneo MBA student selling clothes from the back of her car to fashion designer and singer to globe-trotting troubadour and now online art space curator and possibly stand-up comic, screenplay writer, and YouTube star. Who knows? Please welcome my friend, Miss Kate Torralba.
Woo!
Hi, Kate.
I clap for myself. Hi, Myrza. How are you?
Hello. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And
I am wearing a Kate tee.
I know. I noticed that. Oh my gosh! I never forget all the pieces that I've made. I see it. I can spot it a mile away.
Really?
I'm so happy. Yes.
Never ever?
Yes.
Wow.
No. I can tell. I'm like, oops. Yep, that's mine. Like I would, even when I'm traveling, like I don't know, where was this? Was it in Paris or London? I saw a girl wearing one of my tops, and yeah,
Wow.
it was one of my tops. Incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I've never thrown anything you've made. Even if, di ba, uso ngayon ng pre-love, being given for others to love. But
you want to be the only one who's loving it.
Katie is for keep. So how are you?
you.
You've had a very productive pandemic time during which you gave birth to an idea you just brain farted during one of our cocktail chats. Pandemic pop-up. Tell us about it and how it all led up to that.
So pandemic pop-up was really, I call it the silver lining of my quarantine life. I was very depressed for the first few months of lockdown. Actually, I've been alone for almost 7 months.
Wow.
Yes, and I was pretty devastated because I was this close to recording my dream album. Actually, it's funny because today is the birthday of my first album, 7th birthday, and
happy birthday.
Thank you. It's my child, and so I thought finally that this was the year that I was going to do the follow-up. And yeah, I had been in Berlin for a few weeks and just rehearsing, writing, and the day before we were going to start recording in the studio. We were supposed to be in the studio for some time, and the recording got called off. I was devastated, and then next thing you know, lockdown. I live out of a suitcase. I found myself feeling obsolete. Really, I felt obsolete. I'm a touring musician and artist, and so can you imagine how that felt like when there's no travel? All the gigs are canceled. I was pretty down. I probably around almost 4 months. And then I remember having that conversation with you in June. Also, I was starting to reach out to my creative friends. And yeah, this idea was born out of a conversation. In the beginning, I thought I just wanted to set up an Instagram account helping my friends sell their wares. Because, a lot of the artists have had to innovate. kind of just do their little pivots. I have a friend who's an award-winning singer-songwriter. She's selling plants now. I have
Right.
another friend, a visual artist, selling food. And I thought I would just do like a little Instagram page where people could buy stuff. And then
Right.
next thing I know, um, it just, I don't know. I mean, it's just happened so organically. Yeah, I got the idea in June, and then I talked to a graphic designer that I really liked. I said, let's work on how the brand, I mean, how the identity is going to look like. And then we launched August 7th, and it's an evolving space. So the initial intention was to just make a little gallery, showing art, helping my artist friends sell whatever they need to sell or they want to sell. But since we started, we've had portrait festivals. We have this IG live series where I'm interviewing creative people. There you go. That, oh, it looks great. Oh, makes me happy.
Right.
And that's our manifesto: creation, inspiration, and generosity in the new normal. Because those are the values that I really believe in. Creation is one aspect of it. And then that's why people were thinking, oh, is it just for visual artists? Actually, no, because the word creation encompasses so many things. So we have the visual artists, the writers, the performing artists, content creators, culinary artists. So we have a program, a daily program. We have Music Monday. We have a Takeover Tuesday, where we show the lives of artists around the world. Navigating through this pandemic. And Wednesdays, we have Wear Wednesdays. We have fashion. We have Talkback Thursdays, which is a variety of creatives, having a conversation with us. Because I always believe that the greatest ideas are born out of conversation. And Foodie Friday, now we're going to do Florist Friday as well. And the weekends are reserved for what I call the virtual vernissages. So we do exhibits or like the portrait festivals that I talked about. And we also, the idea really is to create this community of artists, creatives around the world, wherein we give each other much needed support during a time when what we do is considered non-essential. And I've been having so much fun, actually. If it weren't so much work, I mean, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work, but I'm very passionate about it, and I'm always inspired by just helping, knowing that your effort makes a difference and reminds an artist about how valuable their work is. And that is really the mission of Pandemic Pop-Up. And so it's evolving. Soon we'll have little virtual events and workshops and whatnot. But yeah, I like to keep the space fluid and just full of surprises. So, I invite everybody to follow pandemic.popup at Instagram. And it's our little hanging out place on the internet, because that's where I live right now. I live in Pandemic Pop-Up. That's where I live. I mean, I want to have a virtual background created, because I just want to, I just thought I can't go anywhere. I'm scared. Honestly, I'm scared of the virus. I have some friends who are like, oh, you're so paranoid. But, I lost 2 loved ones and several friends to COVID. And I just feel that, it's a responsible thing to just stay inside and not add yourself to the contact tracing list. It's just my way of cooperating with how the world is working right now. And so, being an extrovert and a restless person, I've had to condition my mind into thinking that even if I'm in one place, I can actually travel every day. And I'm able to do this through art and watching films. There's this radio station app wherein I can listen to radio stations everywhere in the world. There's YouTube videos, and of course the conversations that I have with these artists around the world. I feel like I'm with them. And Takeover Tuesday, We were in Sedona, Arizona the other week. And then we are going to be in Boston,
Right.
Massachusetts tomorrow. And then next week we're going to be in Kauai, Hawaii. And after that we'll be in Portugal. And so I just kind of trained my mind to think that I am actually traveling as well.
Right.
In a sense, and it's been a very fascinating journey. The artists are so interesting. They have such diverse lives and stories, and I'm just interested
Right.
to get to know the worlds of these artists, these creators, and it's a gift that keeps on giving. I love it. I love it. The variety and the quality of the conversations. It's fantastic.
And this network
I-
of artists around the world couldn't have
mhm.
been created if not for your globetrotting, well, not so to speak, but your literal globetrotting, where you have forged
Well,
so many
that's
friendships and
right.
connections, and not just in the music industry, but in all fields of the arts. Do you want to talk about how you got all these connections?
I think I'm just really very people like I'm just very friendly. I love people. I love making new friends. You know, I used to travel, and sometimes in the Western world they'd be like, "Oh my gosh, you're so open, you're so nice, you're so friendly, you're smiling on the
You're
train
smiling.
to everybody." But it's just who I am. I love it. I love it. I'm just interested. I meet a new person. I want to know, wow, what makes this person tick? I'm the kind of person who sits next to someone on the train or the airplane, and then we're friends forever. And now they're like the people who are commenting on my Instagram posts and checking in, and it's. I think it's an amazing gift connection. I'm
Right.
very inspired by it, and
Right.
our access to it is just being open and talking, conversation,
Right.
communication. That's it.
You
Yeah,
were
that's it.
you're especially inspired by this artist that I'm flashing on the
That's
wall.
right.
Iconic
Well, we
late
both.
writer Hilda Cordero Fernando, such that her stay in your space was extended to more than the how many days that she was supposed to stay. You wanna
Well,
tell us
for
about that?
I was going to do a 2-day tribute festival to Hilda Cordero Fernando, because I call her the pop patroness saint of the pop up, because she really espoused all the values that we believe in. And you personally know
Right.
what a great impact she's had
Yes.
on the artists whose lives she's touched. And so I was going to do 2 days, and then I'm like, wait, there's so much more content I want to share. And then it became a week, and then I don't know. I can't even keep track anymore. Was it a week or 10 days? I can't even remember. But
I think
I
10 days,
10
yes. But
days.
you were able to tap so many artists and writers and musicians. And how did you do that? And how did you, I don't know, get everybody to come together for this?
Well, I just asked. Most of the artists are my friends, and well, I asked you as well. I'm like, hi, can you help
Right.
me put this together? Because I mean, I don't. I write. I'm not a part of the literary circle. I mean, the few friends I have in the literary circle are gone, and so I thought of reaching out to you, because you actually had spent a lot more time with her in recent years than I have, and yeah, these great writers, Jing Hidalgo, and you connected me with Neil Garcia, and it's yeah, I guess it just that's what's beautiful about creation. It's very organic. It just kind of you have an idea, and you never know where the idea is going to go, and then it just turned into this wonderful compendium of stories about how she's inspired these creative
Right.
people, and it was amazing. I still have a whole bunch of things that I wanted to share, but we
Kulang
had to make
pa.
way. Yeah, we had to cut it short because we had to make way for an auction. So
Right.
we just wrapped up an ongoing. No, we just wrapped up an auction
Right.
It's a collab with a New York outfit called Auctions for the Future, and I basically helped them launch their program to raise some funds to buy computers for Filipino students, for marginalized Filipino students. And yeah, we're very happy we raised some money, and so things
That
like
was
that.
a,
So
it's
it's
amazing how quickly you pivoted, even if you say you were depressed for a few months. I mean, you were already there where the action is, and you were all set to record your second album, and
oh
then
my gosh,
boom, like it's like the rug was pulled out from under you. How did you
it really
even
was.
process that or accept the reality of that? And maybe the
Um,
reality of your occupation or your profession being at a standstill at the moment.
well, I had to allow myself to experience the grief, because I mean I'm kind of like a personal growth junkie. I'm always like taking seminars and reading and like just studying how I could possibly improve myself, and very
Right.
committed to that. So I knew that I had to allow myself to grieve, to be sad, to just experience all the bodily sensations of being disappointed. The not wanting to wake up, from not wanting to wake up and just staying in bed all day, to not being able to sleep, to I mean I went through the whole spectrum of emotions and mental states. And but yeah, when I was ready, it's just I'm a very intuitive person. My instincts just told me, reach out to people, and then that's it. Thanks to social media, I'm able to just send a message, be like, hey, I miss you. Can we catch up? And then I found out through these conversations that I wasn't alone. And to be honest with you, I felt a little embarrassed because I was having this long pity party, and I don't even have a family. I don't have a business. I mean, I'm an indie
Right,
artist.
right, right.
I used to be a businesswoman. At the height of my fashion career, I had 30 employees, and now it's like all I have to take care of is myself, and I'm feeling sorry for myself, and I'm healthy, um, and yeah, I just had to kick my own butt and just take action, even when I kind of had my insecurities about putting this up. I mean, are people going to be receptive? Are people going to like it? I just did it. And but like as with any creative idea, you'll never know how good or how bad it is until you just try. You just
Right,
try.
right.
Yeah, and that's
There was a
that's
there
yeah.
was a time also 10 years ago, I think, when you couldn't get out of bed because you were so burned out from your previous profession,
I was
from your fashion
really,
business.
I was
And
not in great shape.
do you want
I
to tell
was
us about that? Because it's kind of
sure,
related,
sure.
right?
It is. It's been. This is kind of like a breakthrough for me to just be like, I'm gonna start to speak about my experience. I was really in a poor mental and emotional state. This was 10 years ago, and I just remembered just feeling so hopeless about. I had a lot of challenges in my business, and my business grew very fast, and I didn't have a plan. I didn't know how to handle problems. I mean, right now, I can talk about it. It's like, let's say you had in your whole life, you never struggled with money, your whole life, for example, and then you experience it for the first time. It's a shock to the senses. And I guess in a way, I grew up very spoiled too. I was very sheltered. I grew up with my grandparents, and, not really used to disappointment. And it hit me very hard. And I remember that one day, I just get a text message from, Joey Ayala, the poet and the
Right,
musician.
right.
He's a legend. He sent me a text. He said, "Hey, there's this songwriting camp that you should check out. It's called the Elements National Songwriting Camp." And then I found out that Ryan Cayabyab spearheaded it. So I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm a big fan." I just really wanted to meet Ryan Cayabyab. Sorry, guys, all the musicians out there. I didn't go there for the songwriting. I just wanted to be a fangirl because first of all, I may be a musician, but I'm a music fan first. And I grew up as Ryan Cayabyab's stalker. I was his stalker. I admit that. A little girl in Cebu, waiting on him before, after the concert, wanting to meet him, not getting to meet him. And I just thought, well, I want to meet him now, 20 years later, let's do this. And I met him. And I was so shocked because I was told he wouldn't be at the audition. And I was just startled by this big booming voice and like a big presence behind me saying, "Oh, you're Kate Torralba, the designer. You're very good." And I turned around. It was him. I lost it. I completely lost it.
I heard it. You
I was
cried.
crying. I cried. I was crying. I couldn't stop crying. I held up the audition for half an hour because I was just so overwhelmed. And then, I played, and then I had no idea that experience from that audition, my life would be steered into a completely different direction. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I do love fashion. It's fun for me, but my first love has always been music. It's always been music. And I was a classical musician as a child. I think I shared that with you, that I learned to play the piano.
Yes. Let's rewind.
by
Let's rewind
ear.
cassette tapes to
Yes.
when you were age 4
Yes.
and astounding your
Yes.
parents
Um,
by
well, my grandparents and my mom and my uncles and my auntie. So everybody in the household where I grew up was taking piano lessons, and for some reason they all had one piece to study. It was Moon River, and so like maybe 4 hours on a Saturday they would all be practicing this thing, and I would tell my mom, "Oh, I want to try," and then she's like, "Oh, you're a baby. It's when you're bigger, sure." And supposedly, I went up to the piano one day and I just played the whole thing. Apparently, I learned it by ear. And but I didn't take my first piano lesson until I was 7. And
Right.
then when I was 9, I was sent to the U.S. to play in a concert for Filipino prodigies in LA, and I was offered a music scholarship. But my grandparents thought I was too young to be studying in the
Right.
States, so that didn't happen. But somehow I found my way back through writing original music. And 2013, it was the music camp that convinced me that I had something special going on, because all
Right.
my peers and these industry mentors were like, you should really pursue this. I remember Augie Alcacid telling me one day that when he heard me play for the first time, he said, "What are you doing designing clothes?" Because he saw, because he's a musician as well. And so since then I decided, I'm going to finish this album. I'd been working on that album since 2008, and then 2013 I still didn't want to release it, and the people I was working with were like, "You have to release it this year." And
Why didn't you want to release it?
yeah, September
Why didn't you
28,
want
2013, the day of your wedding anniversary too.
Yes.
Yes,
And 7 years.
it is.
Oh, sorry. How many years? 7 years. Right.
Because
And
I didn't think it was good
didn't
enough.
you want? Right. And
I didn't
despite
think.
like the stellar crew behind your album,
It's
right?
been 7 years, and it's
Didn't you say the album was engineered and mastered by people who worked for Dionne Warwick and Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson, and yet you didn't think it was good enough?
so
Uh-oh. Did you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
yeah. No, I mean, for them, they're great. I mean, I'm known to be a snob in the hello.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello? Yes. I can hear you.
Hi.
Go ahead.
Am I still around?
Yes, you are. Yes,
Okay,
you are.
Wait for a bit. You know, that happens. Okay. Okay. Great.
All right.
I'm I'm known to yes there yes. Ah, they think I'm a bit of a snob. They're like, you're a snob. You only want to work. You only want to work with the best people. And I'm like, well, if you have a choice to work with the best people, why not work with the best people?
Right.
So I really
Uh-oh, you're frozen again.
put together a team that I really like. I'm very fussy. I'm very meticulous. Yeah, you're right. For the first couple of tracks I recorded, I did the scorer, and yeah, he went to Berkeley College of Music. He's a genius. Somebody he's the guy who. That's okay. Let me know when I'm. Let me know when I'm all right.
You're
Let me
okay.
know.
It's just a little slow, but you're okay. Continue.
Give me the thumbs up if you can hear me again.
Yes, I can. Here's my thumb.
Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you. Go on. You kind of froze. But
Hello.
yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Really live.
Yes, I can hear you.
And oh, having trouble connecting. Move closer to your router, but I am on 30.
Can you hear me? I can hear you very well.
Hi, am I back?
Yeah. You never left. It's just slow.
Am I back, Myrza? I see you again.
Yes. You can't hear me?
Hello.
Hello. Hi. I can hear
Hello.
you. We can hear you, so you can just keep talking. Hello.
Let me know when I'm back. I'm back.
Hello.
I'm back.
All
You see
right.
me?
Yes.
All right, this is working. Yeah.
Okay, great. Woo.
Yeah, that's
So,
all right. It
continue.
happens all the time.
So
So
you had
yeah,
the
I
best
just
people
basically
working on your album, and yet you were hesitant to release it because.
oh no, I'm just I think I'm very obsessive compulsive too. I'm I was, yeah, I mean, if you ask Malek Lopez, that was a bit of a nightmare. We'd finish recording a song, and then, it's good. All right, we're ready to master it. I mean, like, we're ready to mix it. And then I'd be like, you know what? Actually, I'm not crazy about it. And they're like, what? It sounds good. What's wrong with you? And oh my gosh, I guess I admit I'm not very easy to work with in that sense because I'm really hard on myself, and it's never good enough. It's never good enough. And I just, it took a conversation with do you know the band Rizal Underground? Mike
Yeah.
Villegas, a famous guitar player of Rizal
All right.
Underground. He told me, because he's my compadre, I'm the godmother of his daughter, Mayumi. And he said, Kate, you gotta let go because, a song is actually it's like a picture, it's like a snapshot of who you are at the time. This was who you were as a musician at that time, and that's it. It's like a picture. Let it go. It's okay. And I was like, oh my gosh, that just opened up so much for me because I'd always wanted to do the best work. I was a perfectionist. I mean, I guess in a way I've always had a perfectionist streak, but there's a story behind that too. Maybe one day I'll share with you. But yeah, we have conversations about this, Myrza, right? Like, done is better than best. My graphic designer, Marla Darwin, she's a really talented graphic designer with her own firm, and she's also a feminist and a writer. And she told me while we were working on the pandemic pop-up material, she said, I feel like an alien sometimes when I'm working with the people who have a perfectionist streak, because she said, and I quote, she said, well, because I'm a sincere believer that done is better than best. And I was like, I tell you, no one's ever told me that. No one's ever told me that. And then when I was talking to you, you shared the same thing. You told me, done is better than best. You told me this too.
There are memes about it now because you could have the most perfect thing that nobody will ever see.
That's it. I mean, I still have to work on it. That's why I think this pop-up is a great exercise for someone like me, because you just post on the daily, and you gotta do it in real time.
Right.
So it's a good exercise for me to kind of just let go and be like, well, okay, that's the post. That's it. And this was our event. That's it. It wasn't perfect, but yeah, we did it, and then we move on to the next project. I'm still learning. I'm a work in progress. I really am a work in progress.
And so when you finally finished your album and launched it in 2013, what happened after that? It took you all over the world. How did that happen?
Yeah. I always dreamed of becoming a touring musician. I remember my friend Quark Canaris and I went to this like an album signing in you know what? I'm bothered by my hair now. I didn't see that it looks like this. I just didn't want to be late for you because I know
it's very French.
To be on time.
It's very French. I'll mess up my hair.
Thank you. Sige na nga. French.
Diba? Hindi nagsusuklay.
So interesting story. Quark. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't really, I mean, I don't have, now that I've a lot on my plate, it's like I don't, this is a special occasion. Me, getting dressed and doing it.
You look great. What are you talking about?
I don't really like doing Facebook or YouTube live because there's no filter. Oh,
you look great.
The Instagram filter, the Instagram makeup is amazing. Oh my God, it's like you, but like on steroids or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And
back to
it's so good. You should try it. That's why I'm hooked. I can be an IG live host. This is the only place where I want to host anything. Hello?
Yes, go ahead. So,
Myrza?
Traveling. Yes, can you hear me? Traveling
Hello?
troubadour. Hello,
Hello?
I can. Yes,
Hello?
hi. Oh, keep talking. We can hear you.
Hello? Yes.
Keep talking. We can hear you even if you're frozen.
Uh-oh.
Just keep
Okay, I'll keep
talking.
talking.
Yes. So,
Okay. So okay.
all right. So you went
Troubadour.
to.
Yeah, so I went to this album signing for I think it was Steven Malkmus and the Jigs. It's a band. I mean, yeah, it's a guy from a certain band that we loved, and then it was in Amoeba in Hollywood, and I arranged to meet up with Quark Canares, and I was late, Torralba. I get to know I'm
Later.
late, Torralba. He was inside, I was outside, and then I bumped into Beck. You know Beck, right? Oh my gosh. And then apparently he produced that album. I didn't know. Anyway, that's a story I'm saving for a short story. My meetup with Beck. Hi Nelson. Hi, thanks for tuning in. But in that signing, they were giving, when you bought a CD, they gave you a free poster, and the poster was really cute. It was so cute, but there was a little question that said, um, "What would you really?" Something like, "What would you really want to do with your life?" or something like that. I can't remember how it was phrased, and I just wrote. No, I had Steven, the artist, write. I said, "What do you want me to write?" And I said, I want to quit fashion and do music, which at the time it sounded ridiculous because, fashion was really my bread and butter. But I did it. I was like, oh, okay. And I remember that, there were times like early in my music career that, I'd play these gigs and there'd be nobody watching. And like just the waiters and the bartenders are there. And then I just said, one day I'm going to have fans around the world. And I'm going to, people are going to come to my gigs and I'm just going to have fans around the world. And so I continued to do the gigs and there were still no fans. So I literally made myself some fans,
Oh, fans.
with my, yes, with my album image on it. And then I made those. And then, when I would do the indie musician thing, I would give the fans away. So it's cute because now there's like KT fans around the world, literally. I mean, there's not a lot of people who are into my music, but in a sense, I accomplished my dream to do that, and I wanted to tour, and then I thought, nobody's booking me, and I thought, oh well, I may as well make my own tour. So what I would do is that if I had like a wealthy client say, oh, I'm going to fly you to, I mean, I was catering to some of the richest people in the Philippines and in the region. And so they'd have parties or weddings or whatnot. And I would be flown in for my fashion work. And then I'd ask, hey, can you extend my plane ticket for a few days because I'm going to look for a gig? And so that's how it happened. I'd go somewhere and then I'd email people. Oh, hi. Hello. Thank you, Micah. Yeah, I kind of devised my own world tour somehow, made it happen. And yeah, I've actually been traveling for, yeah, almost, wow, I've been doing this for quite some time, maybe almost a decade. I can't keep track anymore because everything, like I said, just happened organically.
Yeah, but
Opportunity would come up, I'd say yes, and then, yeah.
what was that? What was that like? Looking for your own gigs. I mean, how did you develop the strength and the grit to just go out there and, diba? Parang it's so
Um,
anti-Pinoy to like make presenta and say kakanta ko.
you
Diba?
know,
We're
you
so
know what?
we're
That's
so used to
actually,
being discovered and
yes,
being
waiting for the
waiting.
opportunity. Yes.
Right.
Honestly, you know what? It's good that you asked that question because I'm present to how, when I am in the Philippines, I am not as
Go
assertive.
getting. Oh, really?
Uh, no, there's always the, oh my gosh, what will people say? Parang,
Right,
ang kapal
right.
naman ng mukha nito. And, but
There's
then,
even a
that's
there's
why
even a term, right? They say masyado siyang presentado.
yeah,
Nagprepresenta.
yeah, yes, yes. yes, it's like it's kind of sad because you're shaming somebody for pursuing something that he or she wants.
Right, right,
And that's one of the things about the Filipino culture which I really dislike. You know, it's like kind of putting people down for trying their
right,
best.
right.
And I guess even if maybe this is the beautiful thing about living abroad was that I realized that there's nothing wrong with that. And so I noticed that when I am dealing with the Filipino industry, there's a lot of hiya, shame, there's a lot of hesitation, but I'm not like that when I'm abroad. I'm
Right.
not. I'm like, yeah. And I remember actually when I was, because I just did the Ricky Lee script writing workshop. And on the first day, because Sir Ricky knows my music, he talked about my music. And then I just kind of said, oh, I have this Facebook Live. Because, I mean, I wouldn't normally self promote like that in class, but because it was a fundraiser for Bayanihan Musikahan, and you know, the Ryan Cayabyab's fundraising series, which was so successful. Um, so I just wanted people to watch because I wanted to. And then one of my classmates said, wow, grabe, parang self-promotion. But I
Really?
guess, yeah. And you know what, that stung. That stung. I was like, and then I noticed after that, I kind of hesitated not to plug my, because I guess, you know, I'm an artist and I'm a highly sensitive person. So I noticed I get that only when I'm amidst people of my culture, which is
Right,
sad.
right,
Well,
right.
you know, back to your question about how I pursued these gigs abroad. Like for example, I was in LA for I think yeah, I was in LA for work, and I really wanted to play an LA gig. At the time, I'd never played in the US. And besides my childhood concert, that was technically my musical debut in the US. And I just really wanted a gig. So I just sent so many emails. I sent maybe 30 emails. And, you know, there were a lot of rejections. Like, you need to go through an agent. You need to, you know, like, oh, maybe you can send us your. I mean, you know, nobody was interested. And then I just kept writing. And then, yeah, I think it was like the 31st or 32nd email, which, you know, I got a reply. And it was the Troubadour in LA, which is a legendary venue where Elton John, Joni Mitchell, I mean, all the who's who, I mean, James Taylor, all the singer songwriters and the bands got their big breaks. And I got a slot opening for the opening act. Oh my gosh, it's me. Where did you find that? Where did you find that?
Detective skills. Let's
You
Kate
are
at age
amazing.
9 in concert in LA, after which she was
Yes.
offered a scholarship at a
Scholarship.
conservatory. But fast
Yes.
forward to
Oh,
2000, the mid 2000s, where or the mid
I, I think
2010s.
it was, I don't know when that was. I think 2012 was my Troubadour
All right.
show.
Okay.
And it was, yeah. So what if I was the opening act of the opening act? I was playing on this hallowed stage where my musical heroes got their breaks, and I was just floored. I'm like, wow, it is possible. And
Right.
I never got to play there again for some reason. The booking agent that had contacted me then it was, well, I think he got out of business. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, I played there. I played there, and it's like, wow. I mean, I will. It's like one of the highlights of my life, basically. And
Right.
you know,
And then how
it
did
goes
you
to show
repeat
that, you know,
how did you repeat this in all the other countries? Because soon after you had gigs in Paris, London, Berlin,
to be
Tokyo.
honest with you, yeah, to be honest with you, it really just starts with the people that you know, friends. You know, in the beginning, let's say in Paris, I volunteered to. I think my first gig in Paris was I volunteered to sing at an art exhibition opening. It was under the Pont Alexandre III, the under the bridge. There was like a little, like parang sanctum, like a little cave under the bridge,
Right,
and
right.
they had a vernissage there. And yeah, I borrowed a small keyboard and I just sang there. And then, you know, next thing you know, people remember you. oh
Right.
yeah, that girl, yes. And then so, it's really word of mouth. It is because I'm an independent. I don't have a booking agent. People book me directly. Um, and friends of friends, and then now that the internet is so, I mean, it's such a driving force for creatives to to just put their music out, and then yeah, people just email you, and
Right.
it's amazing. I think it's quite fantastic. So
Right.
even if I have a love-hate relationship with the internet, because I'm like, oh, everything's on the internet, and you get paranoid about your privacy and everything. But yeah, this is the space we live in now. That's what I really had to condition my mind
Right.
to absorb. I live here. We live here. For me, there are no borders. Uh, in the internet, anywhere in the world can somebody reach out to you and discover what it is that you're doing. And I think it's a very powerful thing. I also think that there's a lot of responsibility involved, because I was having a conversation with a friend about this last night, about how powerful, let's say, Twitter is. How one tweet could destroy uh, a whole career or a business or a reputation. And this is one of the things that I fear about the internet. It's because I mean, not everybody uses it responsibly, and I'm very mindful of how I use the internet. And I mean, but I wish everybody were the same, to be a little more conscientious and just to put thought before putting something out
Right.
there, and being
Right.
mindful of the impact of what you're communicating could
Right.
have on somebody's life. So that's, anyways, like
And how
talking a
have
lot
you
about things.
dealt with how the internet has disrupted the music industry? I mean, obviously, after you release your album, people might say, "Who still buys CDs? I don't even have a CD player
That's true.
anymore."
I
How did
I
you
got
deal
that
with
a
that?
lot. Actually, the record label at the time that I wanted to release said, "You don't need CDs." I'm like, "No, I need CDs. I will spend money on those CDs because I grew up, CD generation, cassette generation. I still have my cassettes, because for me, I guess I'm just an analog soul. There's a romance about opening the plastic and just,
Right.
let's say, if it's a cassette, or just the romance of opening the jewel
The
case and
tactile
smelling.
experience.
Oh, it's just fantastic. And the liner notes, the artwork, and then you kind of flip through the pages, and then you read all the copy. I mean, I guess I'm a romantic in that sense. I really wanted that, and so yeah, I invested in my own CDs, and yeah, thankfully we got sold out. I don't know,
Oh, that's great.
4,000 cop 3,000, I can't remember how many copies I printed, but now they're sold out. And I see, it's like, goes to show there are people who
Right.
want the tactile music
How about for
experience.
your second album? Are there going to be CDs?
You know what? It's funny because people were telling me they wanted. My audience is very niche. I like to say this about my followers. The people
Right.
who love my music, the people who love my music, I call them sad, sensitive people with good taste. Right? Sad, sensitive, intelligent people with good taste. And some of them are requesting even for vinyl. Like, why don't you release your first album on a vinyl?
Oh
And I'm
yeah,
like,
that's an idea.
why not? I think I want to explore that too. But
Super
to be
niche
honest with
talaga.
you, super niche, super niche. I don't know. Maybe there's somebody who will kind of print a small quantity. That would be great. I would love that. And but yeah, I want the album. I want the artwork. I want the whole shebang, the packaging, and
Right.
you know. And yes, it has digital has really just turned the industry upside down. But then I always think, when things are turned upside down, and that means you can create something absolutely new out of it, because
Right.
you're kind of like, what is this? And then, oh, and then you're like, wait, I can do this. So you
Right.
never know. Oh, hi Ed, hello. So you never know how. I always try to see the situation from, I mean, of course, there's that part of us, the human nature, that's like, oh my gosh, this is unpleasant. And of late, I've just been telling myself that when it's painful, that's how growth feels like.
Right.
And you're being challenged to think in new ways. You're being challenged to push yourself in ways that you never have. And yeah, there's always opportunity in
And by
every
now you're
situation.
such an expert now. I mean, you have gone through everything that a woman could ever go through. And
Well, not getting married.
oh, right, right. Okay, we'll go to that.
Not yet.
We'll go to that later. But your international career wasn't all jet set glam, right? Can you talk about some of the struggles and how you endure them and how you grew and learned from them?
Well, you see, in my career, because I'm self-managed. Thank you, Angel. Hi. Hi. I'm so happy to see your faces. Thank you. Like about my career as a touring musician, it wasn't all
Right.
adventure and fun. I mean, it. I think also that's why it really appealed to me, the lifestyle, because I had this freedom. I lived out of a suitcase. I have a gig. I want to stay in a certain country for a week or two or a month. I can. I was based out of London for a while, over maybe almost 5 years, and ups and downs. And you know what? Mostly the challenges stemmed from the financial part, because it's no secret, being an artist, unless you're like being a musician, unless you're the next Lady Gaga, it's tough. It is tough. And what I had to do, oh my gosh, the things I had to do to be able to, because I like nice things, I like beautiful things. I needed to hustle so much so that I could pay my rent. I was a, oh my gosh, love you too, Angel. I was a, okay, this is, I don't think I've ever talked about this publicly, but I was a personal shopper during the day.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So you had a day job. You had a day job.
It was a business, because I thought,
Right.
I'm in London. I don't do fashion anymore, and there's my lovely Filipina clients who are wives of wealthy men who miss me and reach out, and then because I like nice things, and I used to live maybe 8 minutes away from Harrods. And what
Okay.
I would do is that because we had a little chat group, some funny trivia. When I wanted to move to London, my family asked me, like, why are you moving to London? It's so expensive there. Are you crazy? You don't even have any money. It's like, you never have money. And then I say, yes, I have money. Like, you don't have savings. Yes, I have savings. And then I open my closet, and it's all these designer bags. All my money was in designer bags. So before I left for London, I just thought, I can let this go. I can let these things go. And I sold my designer bags. And then from the money I got from there, I said, well, if I spend this in London, then that's it. But what if I invest in more bags? So I bought and sold designer bags. And maybe Chanel London doesn't know this. Sorry, guys. Yeah. I would spend practically the whole day in Harrods. So during the day, Harrods would open at 10. I'd just be there and just kind of like trying to stealthily take pictures of the bags, because it's not allowed. And then I was managing a little, like little Viber groups of of my bag lover friends. I had a little group called Is Bag Crazy, and then that's how I made money. My gigs, the well-paying gigs were few and far between. It was ironic that when I moved to London, that's when the Filipino people started to notice my music. They're like, oh, if she's in London, she must be good. And so I would get hired to play a gig in, let's say, Manila, or somebody's wedding in Bali. I'd get flown in all the way from
Oh,
London, get paid a
wow.
handsome sum, just to play one, two, three songs.
Wow.
And then when I'd go back to Manila, I would bring my bags. And, God bless those women who love to shop, the shopaholics. Yeah, that's how I was able to pay rent. And then, there were times when there was not much business. It's like I would live like sometimes like most of my stay in London, I stayed in South Kensington. Then I'd run out of money, and I'll be like, well, okay, I guess I'll crash with friends in the meantime. There was a time I crashed with some friends who were in like an artist's like a warehouse where all these artists lived in North London, and I saw how my fellow artists lived, and it's a tough life, but they were happy because they were doing what they loved. They were making art. They were making amazing things. It was so inspiring. And then, I'd save some money again. I'd go back to South Kensington because that was just my favorite place to stay. And yeah, it was an adventure. It was an adventure. I would not, yeah, I wouldn't change a thing. I really enjoyed that. And then at
Right.
some point, I just said, I want my comfort. I want to eat nice food. But at the same time, I had this calling to just keep traveling and exploring. And so I've gone through the whole gamut of lifestyle changes. And, I always land on my feet. And yeah, I'm a lot more resilient than I look. And
Right.
I think this is the beauty of having these kind of interviews, because you know what, I don't think about these things, but now as you're bringing it out at me, I'm like, wait, I actually did pretty well. I never thought
Right.
about that. I'm just always so focused in the moment about what I'm doing, what's on my plate, and what I want to do next. So I guess I am very hard on myself. I don't give myself enough credit for the stuff that I've accomplished.
What do you want to tell all the young and struggling, or also not so young and struggling artists about the struggle is part of it, or how to
Mhm.
put one foot in front of the other and just keep going, even if they say, or even if the world says, walang pera dyan, forget it,
Yeah.
there's no money in it, but then you love what you're doing. What do you want to say to inspire them to keep going?
I remember a couple of years ago when I was really devastated over another breakup. It's like, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to marry this guy. Oh, he's the love of my life. And I was so desperate. And I was sleeping on my friend's couch in Manhattan and in the Upper East Side. And I remember I would be crying and crying and crying. And my friend's 14-year-old daughter, my goddaughter, comes up to me and she gives me a hug. Oh, Tita Kate, please stop crying. And then you know what she tells me? She just kind of hugs me. She says, lean into the discomfort, Tita. Lean into the
Wow.
discomfort. I was like,
What?
excuse me?
14?
14-year-old telling me to lean into the discomfort. I don't know where she got that. Maybe she goes to therapy. I don't know. But that really resonated with me. And like what I said about how the first quarter of the quarantine, I just leaned into my discomfort and I just allowed myself to feel sad and just grieve and just feel this pang of hopelessness that I'm never going to have my old life back. It will
Right.
never be the same. Life might never be the same. And yeah, new normal. This might be the new normal. And at some point, it will become normal. And
Right.
I guess the trick is just to really just roll with the punches. Really, really learn from your mistakes. Like, be humble. Own up to your mistakes. And I'd like to tell people, this is the value of having a mentor. Like, I consider you a mentor friend, Myrza. It's funny, I
Really?
didn't realize this. All this time, you're somebody who could be my mentor. But
Oh dear.
life is too short to make all the mistakes yourself. It's too short. Like, I mean, that's you learn the hard way, sure. But if there's a way, if there's a workaround there, if you can pick somebody's brain, ask for advice, talk to somebody, have somebody give you tough love advice, geek out on somebody else's career. Like I did this with Tita Hilda's, the tribute at Hilda Fest.
Right.
You learn so much from other people. So be open, be like a sponge, be a stalker. I tell that to my mentees at the pop-up. Be a stalker. There's no excuse not to learn, not to discover anything. You got Google, keep going and keep learning. Yep. That's it. That's really, keep learning. That's it.
What do you want to tell your 23-year-old self? 23, you were 23 when I met you, I think.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
what do you want to tell that young woman who had just moved to Makati and had the world at her feet? I mean, you still have the world at your feet, but knowing what you know now, what do you want to tell
I'd probably tell her, you're so damn clueless. You know nothing. Get off your high horse. Come back down to earth. You silly, like you clueless girl. You know nothing. At the time, you know what? Yeah, I had a lack of humility. It's really funny because as I was like kind of preparing things in storage like last year when I was in Manila, I found some old journals and I read my old journal entries. I was insufferable. What an awful young woman. So full of herself. So clueless. And like, oh my God. It's really funny. I'll probably read that to you in private. It's so funny. I was dying. Me and my two friends who were helping me move, they're just like, we were just like almost in tears. Me reading was like really, oh my gosh. So, but you know, humility can't be, you can't force humility on someone.
Right.
They have to learn it on their own. And I had to learn it on my own. And
And what do you want
I
to
think
tell
it's
her
the most important thing.
about what you've learned about expectations about love and marriage, or parents' expectations? Like you were being groomed to be, if not a musical prodigy, a lawyer, right? And then you
Yes,
also,
a doctor or a lawyer. And then I
right,
said, no, compromise is to get your MBA. And, you know, I really wanted to please my parents. You know, there's still a part of that people pleaser that's in me,
right,
which I just accept and embrace. And I just try to use the positive aspects of that.
right,
But I really had to, how do I say this? Um, it's been a lifelong journey. I've always kind of wanted to live up to my family's expectations, but you know, it never worked when I did things uh, based on what they wanted for me. I did go to business school, but then I dropped out during my thesis because I hated it. I just hated it, and you know, my fashion career was picking up. And, you know, now I see the value of it. I might want to keep my promise to my late grandfather and probably, you know, finish that at some point. But it's been hard. It's only been in recent years where I realized that wait, I actually have a choice. I can say
right.
no and just be able to distinguish that a lot of the things that I kept chasing after were not necessarily the things that I wanted. I mean, Mirza, you know, I've been engaged 3 times just because I was kind of groomed groomed to be somebody's wife,
Groomed
you
to
know, that
marry,
to marry and not just marry well.
marry
You
well.
know, oh my goodness. I mean, you know, but that's a lot. I mean, a lot of mothers, I don't know if it's just a Filipino thing, Asian mothers probably, that, you know, I also understand that
The concern. Uh-oh. Are you being censored? I'm just kidding. Keep talking. Frozen, frozen. Okay, hang on. Oh, there. Okay, Torralba. Are you coming back? Hold on.
I'm back.
Hello. Hi, Kate. There you are. Okay, continue. Can you hear me? It's very slow, but you want to try LTE?
You, of you, of you.
Hello. Are you back? Hello.
Myrza, am I back?
Hi, Kate.
Myrza, but I don't know that is how I am.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me? Hello, Kate. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I had to I use a backup
Can't hear
device.
you.
Can you hear me? Hi.
Can't hear you. Can you hear
No?
me? You have no audio.
Oh.
Oh, there.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Great.
Okay. How's this?
Okay. Yes, better. I think we're okay.
Perfect. Okay.
Perfect.
Good,
So
good. Yeah.
three engagements. And
Yes.
did you have like
Yes.
a marriage paradigm shift eventually?
I did. I did eventually. I just got tired. I got tired. I just thought, my gosh, I'm trying so hard. You know, when you're kind of contorting yourself into a pretzel for
Right.
someone you love because you really want it so badly to work. And I just got tired. I got tired. And then even when I got tired, I still continued to try. And this is
Right.
why March 2019, after another failed dating experience, I just told myself, I'm so sick of this. I am just done. I don't want to date. I just don't want to date anymore. You know, just I'm just tired. And then I signed up for this kind of like a well-being course, um, like a self-love course. And I just thought, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to. I don't want to date anymore. And the challenge was for me not to date for an entire year. And I said,
Oh,
okay, I'll date
I remember that.
in March 2020. Yeah, March 2020, and then boom.
Did you complete the year? I don't remember
pandemic.
anymore.
So maybe this is really meant to be the way it is.
So you
Sorry?
actually completed the year without dating, and
Sorry,
then the
Myrza?
pandemic. You actually completed the year without dating, and then the pandemic happened.
Sorry?
Uh-oh. You can't hear me? I can hear you.
I can't hear you. Let me try again. Hi. Let me reconnect. It's
All
not.
right.
Oh
Okay.
dear. This is awful.
No problem. Try again.
Okay. I'm entering the Am I back?
Yes. Can you hear
Yes.
me? Woohoo! Okay. How is it now? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Never wanted to be blue, only wanted to be true. I don't know what to do. There were pictures that were not among the pictures that I thought were the angles that you caught of me. There were letters that I kept, wrote them nights when I had wept, and now I know that it was kinda crazy. I like to let you know why lovers come to show. I see you come and watch you go, and you wait for me. No, 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 no. There were lovers that you swayed with the offers that you made. You betrayed and then you gave up on. So you came and then you went. You must obviously resent me. La 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 la. There were pictures that I kept. There were pictures that I threw. There were pictures that I drew of you. And the memories that they brought of the efforts come to naught, still sting inside. Oh, oh, yeah. I can read the lines, I can see the light. There were pictures that I kept, there were pictures that I threw, bitter memories that I had of you. And I waited till you came, but it's no longer the same. And the pictures that remain are mine. Oh, wow, yeah, yeah. I can read the lines, I can see the light. Oh, wow, yeah. I can read the lines, I can see the light. And I remain. I remain. I can see the light. I can see the remain. I can read the lines. I can One, two, three. And so you took the time out to list down and to write out. My heart could simply make a living off the stage. And I would cook leaves, make something more deceiving. And I will climb the trees. Back.
Hello.
Hi, I'm back. Can you see me?
Yes.
Oh, it's terrible. Anyways,
Let me
here we
remove
are.
this other one. There. Okay, we'll try again.
Yes. Sorry. This seems better. This seems better. I don't know
Okay.
what's going on, but continue.
Maybe speak near the mic so you can be louder. Oh, okay. There.
Okay,
Great.
there.
So where are you at now? What is your marriage mindset now or your love mindset? And you're frozen again. Oh, there. I can hear your audio.
Oh, we good. I'm glad you took the time out for me. I'm glad you took the time out for me. La 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 la, there. La 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 la, there. La 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 la, la 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 la. Whoa, whoa. You took the time out for me. The time it
All right. Hello, can you hear me?
there. Yes.
Okay.
This is what you call little miss technical difficulties. It's not you, it's me.
It's
Myrza.
okay. We're in the fourth world, so
It, it's all good.
hats off to all your fans.
Yep, all good, all good.
Ayan ang comment.
Anyways,
Yes.
you were saying.
Yes, just keep talking
What
even
were you
if you're
saying?
frozen. I'm saying what is your marriage/love mindset now after everything you've gone through?
Honestly, I you know what? I realize how happy I am without it. I'm so happy with my life right now. I love it
Great.
that
Now you're
I'm not
forced to be alone.
I'm not preoccupied. Yeah, I love being alone. I realize how wonderful it is to be alone. It's actually my first. I've I've never really, I mean, I did live alone in London, but I was just, I just go home to sleep and then I go out because I'm such a people person, and I've learned to value well, what I thought was loneliness in the beginning, it's actually solitude. And
Right.
I I'm really enjoying it. I've never been this focused on my creative work. I've never not I mean, like I was always that you see that movie He's Just Not That Into You,
Right.
and
Right.
one of the characters is a girl who's like constantly waiting by the phone, waiting for a message, and just like so like I mean I'm cringing now thinking about how I used to be.
So that
I
was
used to
you.
I was the desperate one. I was always so desperate to find love, and I would, like I said, contort myself into like pretzel shapes. I would, oh my gosh, the things that I've done for love. It's ridiculous. I'm like embarrassed now. But you know what? I think one day I'm going to tell the story about, the funny foibles of being a single woman. I mean, I know everybody's
Right.
written about that, but I have a unique point of view. They're not me. So I have some really incredible stories that I want to share with other women so that, like I said, life's too short to make all the
Right.
mistakes yourself. So I want to
Well,
share about the mistakes that
first
I've
use them
made.
in your songs, and then use them in
Yes.
the movies that you're about to
Yes.
write with your Ricky Lee training.
Oh goodness. Ah, scary. But yeah.
Oh dear. Okay.
Jesus.
Oh dear. Okay, you're back.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. We can see you. And now we can.
I'm really doing
Hello.
my best here.
All right.
But it's okay. Can you
All
hear
right.
me?
Yes.
Am I back?
You're back.
I'm back.
Yes.
I have the other device here too, just in case.
All right.
Just in case.
Right. And what about
Um,
like the album that you were about to record and now the album
yes,
that
Mirza?
yes, what about the album that you were about to record and now plans are on hold, but surely dreams are not on hold? What are you planning to do about this? Are you going to wait it out or no plans yet? Just wait and see.
Um,
Hello.
Hi, I'm
Hi
back.
there. Right.
Can you
I can hear you. You're frozen, but I can hear you. So keep
can you
talking.
hear? Yes. Okay, great.
I can hear you.
Just is this the worst that you've ever
It's the
had?
most fun. It's the most unpredictable.
This is awful. I'm going to do
Okay, let's just keep them all
them.
on. Right. At least
Yes,
we have two. There are two of you, but
the
then we have a
device.
back.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I have
Okay, I muted one.
two devices.
Just keep talking.
Okay. Good, good. That's a workaround. I
So
love that about you, Myrza.
plans are on
Very,
hold, but dreams are not. What is your plan or lack of a plan about the album?
you know, I actually I was thinking that I wanted to do both an album and a musical.
Oh wow, a
And
musical.
now I have time to write the musical. The musical might be done before the album. So, you know, you just kind of have to adapt and, that old, Everything But the Girl album, it says, it's called Adapt or Die.
Right.
That's
And you've certainly shown us how to adapt. And you're doing it so well and so creatively, and it's such an inspiration for all of us to take your lead and just adapt to whatever life throws us, such as these technical difficulties. So I'm hoping you'll still come back so we can end the show properly. In the meantime,
To reach me, the things you want to give me.
all right.
Myrza, hi.
Hello.
Hi. Oh gosh, this is crazy. There I am. I'm back.
Right. And we're adapting to the technical difficulties and the poor
Yes, this is
internet
it.
of the country.
You, it's like surfing, you know? You just kind of have to just try to stay on the board and keep your
Right.
balance. You just
Right.
have, yeah. I mean, there's no formula. You just, yeah. You just kind of move your body as you go along, hoping you won't fall into the surf. I learned how to surf pretty quickly. I learned how to surf pretty quickly because I don't know how to swim.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
That would be
Yeah,
terrifying for
I don't.
you.
Hi. What? Hi. Hi. Patil. Hi, Chaitanya Patil. I took a picture because it's a very unique name.
Whew.
I'm going to try
All
again.
right.
Hi. Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So, hello. Can you hear me? Hello. You're still frozen.
I'm glad it is a day. Glad you took the time out for me. I'm glad you took the time out for me. Hello. Hi. Hello.
Hello. Hi.
I'm. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. I've never. Wow, this is insane. Yeah. So, okay, am I back?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm trying to mute the other one.
Okay.
There. All right.
Okay, I'm going to turn off the cam in the other one. Oh yeah, it's going now.
Okay.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
Yeah.
So,
So yes.
where were we?
My goodness.
So, surf, learn how to surf through life and whatever pandemics are thrown your way or broken engagement
Yeah.
challenges or
Yes.
upheavals in the music industry or what else.
Surf. Surf. So
Kate,
many things. I've been
Kate
through
can
a whole
handle
lot.
anything by now. And we are all inspired to follow suit and be as adaptable as you. So maybe we should do a
Thank
part
you.
2 for those na nabitin.
I
Maybe
think
we can
make
do
up
a
with
part.
this. Make up there
Yes,
this. We must. We must. Let's do that.
yes, we must.
But
But
thank you
I guess
very
I
much,
guess
Myrza, for
today
having
might
me.
not be the day.
Thank you.
But thank you so much for being here. Oh, continue on IG live na lang, ladies. We could do that. And now Kate is frozen again. But I shall say goodbye for now and we'll let you know if we will continue somewhere. Maybe we'll have a part 2. So thank you everyone for your patience. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but this has been TikTok and I'll see you very soon. Bye.